And hello, one and all, and welcome to our review for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. We're going to be giving you our full thoughts and opinions on all of the tremendous action that took place tonight from the Barclays Center in New York City. And boy, oh boy, what a night it was. And with me, I have my good friend, Mike. Mike, thank you once again for joining me for another review.
Thank you, Dan. No problem at all.
It's great to have you, and boy, do we certainly have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. This was another tremendous, really good NXT TakeOver event. I've personally never just been disappointed watching an NXT TakeOver event. I mean, Mike, what were your thoughts on this show tonight from top to bottom?
It felt like a mini WrestleMania all over again. I mean, it was like, the entrances, the different lighting and this, the crowd, the energy. And it's like everybody brought out the best of them tonight. And it was just like pretty much spot on for the most part, I felt.
Yes, everything for the most part, like you said, delivered with the great entrances, which we'll get into. It was just like the little touches, the little things that NXT does. When they do it well. And it was a 2.5-hour show. Man, this did not feel like 2.5 hours. It felt like an hour.
No way.
Man, did it fly by. And that goes to show you, short, sweet, simple, to the point. I mean, it was effective. Like I said, everything was on point for the most part on this show. So without further ado, let's take a look at all of the 6 matches on this card. So how do we kick things off tonight? Well, we kick things off with No Way Jose versus Austin Aries. I thought this was a good opening match. Out of all the matches that were scheduled on the card, I felt like this was the most logical to open the show up with. It was a good showing by No Way Jose, and Aries, of course, the veteran with his savvy presence, and he was able to get the win over No Way Jose by locking in the last chancery for the win. So it was nice to see Austin Aries pick up that win. Mike, what were your thoughts on this matchup between No Way Jose versus Austin Aries? Because I thought it was solid stuff from bell to bell.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was like a good match for both these guys because this is No Way Jose's first match on like a big stage like this. So a good opponent, Austin Aries, and like you were saying during the match, it was like more of like an aggressive side of No Way Jose. It brought out more of him and gave him the great experience. And, he brought out the best of him. And then Austin Aries recently, freshed up his character a little bit to have him, give him more of an opportunity. And No Way Jose was definitely a great opponent for him. So I definitely, these guys both brought the best out of each other.
Definitely. Like you said, this was a big test. This was No Way Jose's test to show what he's got on the stage, such as NXT TakeOver, and this being quote unquote. I feel this is now becoming, in years to come, this will become like NXT's WrestleMania, quote unquote. I mean, at the Barclays Center, it's a big atmosphere. They keep this tradition going. So this was a good opportunity for himself to prove what he's got, and being in there against a veteran like Austin Aries, I thought both guys did a good job. And like you said, I really like the intensity and the aggression that No Way Jose displayed. I think if we see more of that heading into the future, as I mentioned before, I can get more and more behind No Way Jose. I do like the dancing stuff that he does, but that can only go so far. But I think
definitely
the aggressive side of him, that definitely has potential down the line. So I predicted, I'm pretty sure I predicted No Way Jose was going to walk out the winner, but I certainly wasn't disappointed to see Austin Aries walk out the winner. I really like that last chancery, the way that he torques the neck and just makes it look so pit.
Oh, yeah.
So amazing. It was great, and it was great to see Aries walk out. And this is now his second win on an NXT TakeOver event. And then the action didn't stop there. After the match, Aries begins to beat down on No Way Jose, and then Hideo Itami would make this is great stuff. Hideo would come to the ring, get right in Aries' face, and what did he hit him with, Mike?
GTS, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, and that's going to be our next program, Itami versus Aries. Mike, are you looking forward to this feud? Because I certainly am.
Oh, yes, I am. And before you go on, did you by any chance see the backstage segment with Austin Aries being interviewed after he came out of the ring?
I did not. I did not get a chance to see that.
Do you want no spoilers yet, or?
That's all right. Go ahead. Say what.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, Aries made a good point. He's saying that it didn't feel like a victory for him at all tonight. He said he didn't come out standing tall because they have someone else to butt in on him again, as he's feeling he's been getting the whole time, and now that's why he's saying that Hideo Itami's epic comeback is going to turn into like him ending his career pretty much. So it's like a continuity thing right there too. What he's gone through his whole time at NXT right now, it's still going to keep going, and Hideo Itami kept it going.
Yes, because Aries, kind of got in a quote-unquote sense lost in the shuffle when guys. Remember, he took issue with Shinsuke Nakamura for the exact same thing. So I like how, you said, they're keeping that continuity going, and I think that these two will bring out the best in each other. It's going to be a fun feud, a fun ride, and based on the reaction that we saw tonight, the fans want to see it as well. So that should be a good match to have take place down the line, probably at the next NXT TakeOver event. So, like I said, it was a good opening match and a good way to get the crowd into it. We then had the debut of Ember Moon. Ember Moon made her debut with a really mystique entrance and the red eyes and just the red lighting. I really liked her entrance. I really liked, how she made impact. You were like, let's see what this girl has to offer. And she certainly didn't pull no punches against Billie Kay. I think they went out there. They gave them enough time to show what Ember Moon has to offer. And the highlight for me from this match was when Ember Moon hit it's hard to describe. I mean, it was a stunner. And she dove off the top rope. So it was like a diving stunner. That's what I'm going to call it. And I thought this was a good win, a solid debut for Ember Moon. And I think she will be a future challenger for Asuka's NXT Women's Championship. Mike, what were your thoughts on the debut of Ember Moon and this match that she had?
Definitely really impressed by her. Yeah, I mean, she very agile, had a lot of great moves, just like, the aesthetics look they gave to her, like you say, with the red eyes, with the entrance. It's like, it doesn't make you just typical, just walking out and just walking out to music, it's like, it's something unique about her. Right, yeah. And then, of course, Billie Kay, too, I mean, I've been seeing her a couple times ever since she made that random appearance on SmackDown. I think she was a solid opponent as well. I think she's definitely going to be up there as well in the title hunt, definitely for the NXT Women's title within the next year or so, probably.
Yes. It is nice to see a new crop of talent coming into NXT, like you said, with Billie Kay, Ember Moon, Santana Garrett's another one. There are a couple other names out there. And of course, Asuka sits atop the throne of the NXT Women's division. But I would be intrigued. I mean, you look at the possible opponents for Asuka down the line, and I've heard they've already had house show matches that have been really good. People have been talking about between Ember Moon and Asuka. So what would you feel about a potential Ember Moon? I mean, I know she just debuted, but based on what we're hearing from house shows and how those matches have been received, I'd like to see that program based on how they build Ember Moon up in the weeks to come on NXT TV. How about you?
I wouldn't mind seeing it at all. I mean, I guess I still want to see, though, what everybody else has to offer first. But I definitely, what I saw tonight, no doubt about it, I want to see her have a match with Asuka.
Definitely. And, so all in all, just a good debut. And what we had up next, there's only one word that we can describe this as next.
Glorious!
It was indeed glorious. The phenomenal, the amazing Bobby Roode. That's right, folks. Bobby Roode made his debut tonight at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It was the crowd reaction alone, the way that he came down from literally like almost the heavens. It was awesome. It was a great entrance, and it really added to, not only the great crowd reaction, but just the special feel that this match had. And I'll give credit. I thought Andrade Almas, I thought this was the best that he has looked in NXT so far. I really haven't been impressed with him too much up until this point, but I thought this was a really good showing by Cien Almas. And, of course, Bobby Roode was the rightful winner of this match. There was no other way around it. He hit the glorious bomb for the win that eventually led to the 3 count. So good win for Bobby Roode. Good debut in NXT. It's only on to bigger and better things. Mike, what were your thoughts on Bobby Roode, the match itself, how Almas looked, just all of the factors that went into this crowd reaction. I mean,
another thing, again, the entrance. That entrance was just unbelievable. And literally, I cannot stop listening to his music. Like, it's just like, I can't sit still when I listen to it at all. It's just so powerful and, like, dominating everything. But the match itself, like you said before, I agree about Andrade, CN, Almas. Like, he definitely showed probably his best I've seen so far. Very agile, but
he's flying around tonight.
I just haven't really. He's not someone that really excites me that much still in the ring. I probably see him more, but Bobby Roode, on the mic, in the ring, he's already like shown that he's somebody that's going to be big on this NXT roster, and definitely a clean win tonight. It was that match had his name written all over it.
Yes, I mean, it would make no sense for Almas to win. Obviously, you go with Bobby Roode, who has so much upside, so much potential, not only on NXT, but I would really like to see him go to the main roster, where I think there is big money in programs with AJ Styles and maybe Brock Lesnar and John Cena and Randy Orton. There are just a ton of great programs for Bobby Roode to do. So I'm happy to see that he is in NXT, but I hope it's only for the short term, because remember, folks, he is 39. He ain't no spring chicken. He's not getting any younger. So hopefully he's staying in NXT. He'll be there for a couple months, no doubt. But I'd really like to see him on the main roster, whether it's on Raw or SmackDown, but I feel that's where he truly belongs. But I'm going to enjoy it while he's in NXT, and it will certainly be glorious. So after this, we had what I would call, it's tough because these were three really good matches that we had back to back to back. It was the NXT Tag Team Title match between the Revival and Tommaso Ciampa and the Revival versus Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. I think for me, this was my match of the night. I enjoyed the hell out of what the guys were able to put together in the ring. Just the near fall after near fall. The Revival always being successful, finding a way to get out of a certain predicament. That's what they're known for. No flips, just fists, and they certainly proved it tonight. The level of beating, the punishment that they put on both Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And Ciampa took a ton of punishment, and there was one spot, I'm getting to it really close towards the end of this match, where it looked like, I believe it was Gargano. He had, I believe it was Dash, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I think it was Dash. He had it for the 3 count after they did the double kicks to the head, and Dawson got Dash's foot on the rope, and we went nuts. We're thinking, oh, it's a 3 count, but no, ref says no, foot is on the ropes. It was just this type of match that really built throughout it. It built and built and built, and then it crescendoed beautifully at the end. Of course, Gargano and Ciampa, they tried, but they came up just a bit short. Dash and Dawson able to hit their finisher on Gargano and Ciampa, and once again walk out as the NXT Tag Team Champions. But Mike, I know you really enjoyed this match. What were your thoughts on the level of effort that went into this NXT Tag Title match tonight?
A lot of excellence. I mean, you were right. I mean, right out the door, you kept saying this match is going to steal the show, and I was thinking I didn't think it was definitely going to. I thought it was definitely a possibility to. But these are two guys. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, both guys who are killing it on the Cruiserweight Classic, and they killed it in their match. And then you have the Revival, who they have all these great heel tactics, like you say, they find any way to win, but they always come up with something different all the time. And that's what I enjoy about the Revival. And I don't mind them staying tag team champions for a while, as long as they keep changing up here and there. But definitely, I feel like Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa definitely put it all on the line to that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they gave them another shot, like maybe one more shot at the titles. But eventually, right, yeah. But eventually, they're going to probably have these two feud against each other. You can smell it coming.
It was weird, like the way that the match ended with Gargano and Ciampa both walking out down the ring, like kind of embracing one another as a sign of friendship. just in the back of my mind, I was saying this. I'm like, maybe Ciampa's going to kick Johnny in the face. Didn't happen, but it was just awkward. Like, you kind of got the were walking out of the ring, but the screen faded to black, so we didn't get that. But you're right, we could see. I'd love to see a feud between them. I know it would bring out the best in them. They had a tremendous match on the Cruiserweight Classic. They would have tremendous matches in NXT. So
definitely, yeah. I was having flashes in my head of Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn. I'm like, is this almost?
You're right, because when they were walking back, it was literally almost the same way that Owens and Zayn were doing that walk back to the ring before Owens slammed Zayn's head. I was thinking that might happen as well. I mean, I literally saw the flashback going in my mind. So, definitely my pick for match of the night. I don't know about you. Was this your match of the night?
I think it was, yeah, definitely. I mean, the constant near falls, you so many times where you thought it could have been over. Like it definitely had like the amount of time I felt it needed, but just the whole like, it was like up and down. It's like it's not like that one moment where everything just like finally like boom, that's it. It's like, does this be it? No, this be it? No, like it had you on your feet, and that's what I wanted to feel out of like most of these matches tonight. You know what I mean?
Yes, and let me make a correction. Gargano was locked in by Dawson on a modified figure 4, and Gargano had to tap out. That's how the ending of this match happened. So I wanted to get that correction out there. But all in all, great job. It was just the type of match that I thought these 4 teams would have. And like you said, I'd love to see them go at it again, maybe in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That would be really good stuff. It's just good stuff. And nothing more I can add to it. So unless you have anything else to add.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. So after this, we move on to our 5th of the 6 matches on this card. It was Asuka defending her NXT Women's Championship against Bayley. My, oh my, what a journey, what a ride this was. The emotional roller coaster for someone like Bayley, who has fought and tried so valiantly to get back into that NXT Women's Championship picture. And she had to climb every rung of the ladder, after she lost her title to Asuka in Dallas. And you're feeling for Bayley. You know that she's going to have to bring out more of an aggressive side to challenge Asuka, because Asuka in her own right is one of the most aggressive women's wrestlers on that roster. And this match certainly pulled no punches. Whether it was, the kicks to the face or, Asuka's knees or just the shots back and forth between one another, Bayley and Asuka certainly took it to one another. I really enjoyed this match. The finish really, there were a couple really good near falls in this match, but the finish really surprised me. All it took was one swift, sick-looking kick to the head by Asuka, and that leveled Bayley to the floor. Despite Bayley's aggression, it simply wasn't enough to overcome the dominance and mystique of Asuka. And Bayley falls to Asuka, but despite that, great reaction from the Brooklyn crowd. They let Bayley know the love and the appreciation that we have for her. And if this is truly her send-off, thank you, Bayley, for everything that you've done for NXT. And great stuff. Mike, what were your thoughts on this women's championship match?
I mean, I like this match, but like you said when I was over at your place, I kind of wanted a little bit of a better finisher. I felt for some reason. I felt that. Don't get me wrong, it was a great match. It felt if they had maybe 5 more minutes left in them or something like that. That's what I felt. And I mean, right, yeah. I mean, but it definitely was different though than their last match. Last match it was like the build were like, okay, yeah, Asuka's been kicking some butt. She deserves a title shot, and that was pretty much it. Solid match, but I felt the build could have been just a little bit better. This time, they have Bayley, go through the injury. Nia Jax set her back. Then she comes back, but then she knows she's like, it can't be so much more fun and games anymore. Like, she has to get a different approach. And they brought out the heat and Bayley. She literally grabbed Asuka during the match and said, hit me in the face. Go ahead, hit me in the face. I would never expect that out of Bayley at all if it was a couple of months ago. And then, you saw that more aggressive side of Bayley showing that, hey, I don't care how I am. I want this championship back. And she really showed it in her. She won it. But again, good match. Just I felt maybe I need maybe just another 5 more minutes. Like I want to see a little more that unpredictable ending. It just seemed like it was just a little bit too soon. I felt to end it.
Sure, that's valid criticism. And I agree. The match was really good, but it could have done to have another 5 extra minutes. But still, between their 2 matches, would you say you enjoyed this match more than their Dallas match? Because I certainly did.
Again, I'm a little mixed. I mean, about the Dallas match thing was probably a little bit longer, and the finish for Dallas was perfect. It fit.
Yes.
I would just try to see some way, that finish mix in with that more aggression, that more heat they had on each other. It was more. It wasn't Bayley just being nice and good, just moving on. It was they were building up to some intense tension between them. Like you said earlier, it's just a way to build a face on face feud. Have them have heat on each other at the end, shake hands, move on. That's how it should work.
Yes, and we'll see where Bayley goes next. Could we see her on Monday Night Raw? We'll have to see. But like I said, good stuff all around from the women tonight. So that was that match. We then segue into what was our main event match of the evening. It was Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The match started out slow, but it slowly built up over time, and eventually the crowd got more and more invested into it until it built very nicely towards the end. I just love the pace that this match was set at. I didn't think it would start off too. I actually started to think it eventually would pick up and kick into that next level of gear. But you could tell Joe and Nakamura were trying to tell a story with the hard-hitting kicks and punches. Joe is a hard-hitting guy, and Shinsuke Nakamura is the king of strong style for a reason. So I just really like the level of physicality that these two displayed against one another. Nakamura was certainly put up against a strong test in Samoa Joe. Joe didn't back down, as we didn't expect he would, and he really hurt Nakamura a lot in this match. There were many times where Joe just had Nakamura pinned to the ground, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen for the king of strong style. But somehow, some way, Nakamura hit a sick-looking kick right to Joe's jaw, and I know the ref threw up an X sign. I'm thinking Joe might have a broken jaw. It didn't look good, and I know.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was. That was sick. Nakamura hit this initial kick right to Joe's face and the boom, and I thought that was it. And then Joe kicked out after 2, and I'm like, okay, this match is going to keep on going. This is good stuff. The crowd was fully behind Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. They really wanted to see him persevere and become the new NXT champion, and that's exactly what happened. All it took was for Shinsuke Nakamura to hit that second kick right to Joe's face. He hits it, and 1, 2, 3, Shinsuke Nakamura is your new NXT heavyweight champion, and the place goes nuts. Joe's hurting, like I said, he's got his jaw all jacked, and this was a good match, good main event match to close out a NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Mike, what were your thoughts on this championship match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe?
First off, also, just to mention the entrance for Shinsuke Nakamura, also with the violin and everything, that was really nice, very different. With the strobe light and everything, Nakamura's entrance always kills it.
Yes, it does.
I mean, nail it as in a good way, but as far as the match itself, yeah, definitely. I mean, I give Joe a lot of credit because I think they brought the best out of Joe tonight. I mean, he was looked like that brick wall, and there's Nakamura who has plowed through all the talent NXT has had. I mean, he hasn't gone through easily, but they were showing that you're talented, but if you really want this championship, you really got to go through a brick wall, and that's what I viewed Samoa Joe as tonight. Is he brought everything out of him. He hit the muscle buster, the coquina clutch, and he had Nakamura getting trampled the whole night, but Nakamura pulled out, and I'm glad he did that second knee strike. I don't know why. If they would have finished it after that first knee strike, it was like, Joe's like kind of just fell on his feet and then hit him like that. I'm like, they finished it that like that, kind of a little bit of a cheap ending. So I'm glad they let him kick out of that and then do the second knee strike for finish. That was the finish that I was looking for. And I'm kind of wondering now, do you wonder maybe if they might bring like Joe's jaw into the storyline for the rematch maybe?
They could. I mean, they've been known to do that before, turn an injury into a storyline. I think it would make sense, because Shinsuke literally kicked Joe's jaw like apart almost, and maybe knocked a couple teeth out, and it would certainly add to the credence. King of Strong style. But I really like that analogy you made of Samoa Joe being the brick wall. I mean, he looked into his eyes. He had this look of intense aggression, and Nakamura just being Nakamura, and it was just a great clash of styles and just a really good way to close out NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. So, Mike, anything else you have to add to this match?
Not that I can think, no.
All right, so with that, let's give our grades for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. I'll go first. I'm giving tonight's show an A. This was a solid A show. Great wrestling action for 2.5 hours. I would enjoy watching it again. Mike, what grade would you give NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 tonight?
I was thinking really tough about it. I was between a little bit. I think again, the one thing that just made me think about a little more was that finish in Bayley versus Asuka. I don't want to be nitpicky about it, but I just felt that it could have been just a little bit better. So I'll give it like a really strong A-, like just on the A- and an A. Really good show. Just wish that finish would have been just a little bit better. But other than that, no doubt about it, I would definitely watch the show again.
As all NXT TakeOver events are, and great stuff. And real quick, let's get to the poll that I threw up on Twitter. 6 of you voted. Thank you for voting. 100% gave this show a thumbs up, so not a surprise there. So
no doubt at all.
No. So that's our review for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Of course, don't forget tomorrow night after SummerSlam, I will be up here for my live SummerSlam review. Me and Mike will break down everything that happened on the SummerSlam card, so look for that review sometime around 11:45-ish, give or take on the time there. But Mike, I want to say thank you for joining me for tonight's review, and I look forward to having you on for tomorrow's SummerSlam review. Of course, you can get a quick plug in for your channel.
Once again, as I said the other night, my channel is the Club of the Man 1993. I just do whatever I want. Do a lot of wrestling stuff, just a bunch of other stuff that I do just for fun. So yeah, just check me out at the Club of the Man 1993.
All right, good stuff. And thank you all for tuning into this live review. Remember to please click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. And like I said, I will see you guys tomorrow night for my SummerSlam review. Until then, guys, have a good night. I'll see you.